Okay, I'm like 92. This is going to be hard to explain. The story of Kenny's origins begins at a small wrestling circuit in Canada called the UWF, the Ultimate Wrestling Federation. See, it's at a forum. See, there's a big building which looks a bit like, it's kind of like the Halifax Forum, but I think all forums look the same. They're just a big seamless cube. It is here that Kenny's destiny crosses that of a certain wrestler, the Abstraction, a man of questionable sanity and an uncanny helping of dumb luck. Questionable sanity? Are you sure you're not telling me your story? It's comments like that that make the Pixies not love you. There's a lot going on here. Okay, so Jeff is beginning to tell a story of a thing that kind of happened. Now, the UWF, Ultimate Wrestling Federation, was what is referred to as an online wrestling federation, where you don't actually wrestle, but you kind of talk about it. Basically, it was something that came about because people decided that most of what happens in wrestling is the plots and the conversations and the talking points. And then the wrestling is just kind of academic. But the wrestling only suits to further the plots, so the wrestling doesn't have much to do with it. So basically, you set up a character kind of like a D&D character, and then you give it specific moves and specific skills, and then you control the power of your wrestler by how well you are judged as a writer. So it's kind of a writing competition where you have to write you have to write your own plot. That's kind of the short version of it. Now, when I was invited to do this by a friend of mine who was also kind of a really good writer, but he also liked wrestling and lots of things of that sort, he said, oh, let's do this. So I created, my wrestler's name was The Abstraction, and it was always written random capitalization, and it was all about being never the same. Everything was all over the place. He changed so many times. He just... yeah, he was just weird. Really, really weird. I think his signature thing was that he rode a tricycle to the stage every time. But he did rather well, mostly because everyone enjoyed the ridiculousness and the strange way in which I wrote it. So, a man of questionable sanity and an uncanny helping of dumb luck. So it's all about him. This first part. I think that covers the first two panels, except for the fact that I'm really proud of my second frame. There, my second panel. Yeah, it looks like a stickman wrestler and kind of a ring thing, and there's all those whatchamadoos, those fenced-in gates, and then it looks like people, and see, you can even see a star, one of those little shiny stars of a flash going off. He's getting his picture taken once. Steps leading up. Forum, black tarmac. Now, since this is kind of a flashback at descriptions, the first time I came across this and had to do this, I had to draw kind of the talk line differently, so I just sort of made it the top half of it was the talking part, and the bottom part was the drawing. So I drew it, and then I added everything in afterwards. So I think I made those straight lines myself afterwards. And then we get to the third panel where she says, "Are you sure you're not telling me your story?" Ha ha, Julie thinks Jeff isn't quite all there. Jeff replies with the obvious, it's comments like that that make the Pixies not love you. So maybe he isn't all there. Or maybe he's just making a joke. You never really know. So this is the beginning of that. This is why... well, it's not why, but it explains the Wrestling Federation. And it is kind of Kenny's origins. Mostly it's just something that I did before. It was a story. It's kind of a story. I sort of told a story through a series of pretend wrestler monologues in a fake wrestling federation. I was trying to create a story. This goes back to no matter what I do, I always like to tell a story. Always. Just because I like making stories up and making them interesting. So, this will continue. I tried to keep this as short as possible because, oh man, there's so much to it. But I think I'll just sort of talk about it as it happens. So that's the basis behind this wrestling federation and this character, the Abstraction. It's just what I made when I was doing it. Okay, I think that's enough of that. So, Comic 93 tomorrow.